Hey everybody, today our special little lesson that we were supposed to have this afternoon, which I'm going to go ahead and record it here now. You can watch it at the special time this afternoon, but this was our activity for today was coding. And I want to show you, if you don't have a computer app or a computer game that shows you how to code, you can code at home. This is a piece of paper that I drew lines. I made a grid. So coding is just following a grid. So you have your grid. I borrowed some cute little stickers from my daughter, and I put them basically on a postcard, and an index card, and I cut them apart. So I have my characters that I want to code. So I have a duck, I have a cat, and I have a hippo. So those are my three characters that I have. I also made some standard little arrow cards, directional cards. So for our purposes, we're going to be using these. This one says, it's got an F on it for forward. So wherever you place your first character, let's say we're placing it right here, and we want them to go forward. Forward would be whichever direction they're facing. So if they're facing this way, this would be going forward. So we would lay our arrow down that way, like going forward. So then this is back. The B is for back. So if you're moving your character along, you've gone forward, but you want them to go back one space, so that would be how you would record your coding that way. We have an arrow for left. There's an L right there. The L is for left. So if you're going along and you want them to turn to the left, so you would put your left arrow here so that the character would turn and go left. All right. And then the final arrow you have is R for right. That was the arrow for right. So if you're going along and you want your character to go right, you would put down your right arrow. So how you actually code is you would have to have at least the minimum of 2 characters. I mean, you can have 1 character, but I'm going to have my kitty cat. So I'm going to have my kitty cat start in this corner. So this is going to be my top corner. And I want him to go visit the hippo. And I'm going to put my hippo in one of the squares that I have on my board. So this one's going to be fairly simple. So you have your cat is your starting point. You have your hippo as your ending point. So I want my cat to go forward. So I'm going to, these are just Post-it notes that I used. This is just beginning coding. This is nothing too serious right now. So I'm going to put my code here. So forward and then forward so that he gets here. So my cat would move forward 1 space and forward 1 space. Well, now I need him to turn right towards the hippo. So I would schedule him to turn right. So my cat's been going along. He's going to turn to the right. And now I would go forward again. So I would put down my forward and my forward. So he's going to move forward, forward, and then you move him forward 1 more so that he actually lands on the hippo right here. So you have effectively coded your cat to move from the starting space forward, forward, turn right, forward, forward, forward. He's now met up with his friend hippo on his board. You can start from anywhere on the board. It doesn't have to be this top corner. You could actually use lots of different pictures and stickers, whatever stickers you have at your house, if they're Transformers or LOL stickers, whatever stickers you have. I just happen to have these for my daughter. You can place them anywhere on the board. So you could actually have your kitty cat starting here, and they're going to go to 2 different friends, and they're going to go to the duck and the hippo. So you could actually start them going, okay, I'm going to go forward 1. So the cat will move forward. He's got to turn to the right. So you're going to turn your cat to the right. And we're going to go forward, forward, forward to get him to the duck. So cat would move forward, forward, forward. So now you've got cat and duck. So we've got to turn them. So you would turn them to, if you're here, this will be right, this will be left. We're trying to get to the hippo, so we're going to turn him left. So we're going to turn both characters left. All right, so we've got both of our characters heading left. So then we could go forward, one space, forward, one space, and then forward, one more space. So now we've got to decide we're here, so we've either got to turn left or right. So you're going to turn him left. So we're going to put the left down, and we're going to turn our animals left. And so then they would go forward, forward, and your animals are now all together. All the friends are together. Now, if you don't want to use the little Post-it notes or the little helpers, you could just write it down on a notepad, and you could write down the letter F for forward. You could write down the little L for left. You could write down the R for right and the B for back. So you could actually write out, like if you had a little notepad, just like when we were working, if you don't want to use the little arrows. I like the arrows to start with because it helps me think and plan out what I'm doing. So if you have cat here and duck was here, you could actually write out so you would start out saying, okay, cat needs to move forward. So I would write an F. So I'm going to turn my pad around so you can see it. So I would write my first code would be F, and then another F, and then another F. So you're having, every time you make an F, you're moving him forward. Then he would need to turn. So he's here. He would either need to turn right towards duck or left away from duck. So you would turn him right. And then he would move forward again, and forward again. And that should get him to duck. So when you are writing, you can use if you have Post-it notes, you could use the arrows, or you could just use that code. F is for forward, R is for right, L is for left, and B is for back. So that you could write out your code so that you would know which way you were heading. Forward, 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 turn right, forward, 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 and you made it to duck. Also, let's say you made a mistake and you didn't write down the correct number of F's. Let's say we forgot an F right here. So this is how that would work. You would have your cat here and your duck here. You go forward, 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 and then forward. Maybe you had too many F's. And then you go, oh, right, forward, forward. Uh-oh, I didn't end up with my duck. So I've got to go back, or either I can add another one. I could add a right turn to get to duck, or I could go back to where I started and then go back down. It's really endless. You can have lots of characters. You can code more than one character, but this is simple, and you can keep it at your house. You could make a map and have your code, and then you could go outside and draw it out with chalk and have a whole large coding area that you could have your grid lawn out, and you could have one person stand here, and you're having to tell them forward, back, right, left to get to where you are on the grid. So coding is fun. You can do coding anywhere you are. That's just our little coding lesson for today. We're going to do some more with it another day, but those were my little characters and my little information about learning how to code.